Hey guys, what's up? This your girl Miss Meek, and you are officially in Meek's room. Today we're going to be talking about Love and Marriage DC. It's a new spinoff on OWN Network. Monique Samuels is back. That is my girl. She was my favorite on Real Housewives of Potomac, and I was so sad to see her leave, but she is back, you guys. She got her own show, thanks to Carlos King, the king of production, honey, and executive producing. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So start off with Monique coming in with a bomb-ass intro, pulling up in the Bentley. I'm loving that all these girls are pulling up in the big body Benzes and Bentleys, and Stormy pulling up in the G-Wagon. Honey, I'm living for all of these girls. So I just want to say that Monique looks so pretty. I love her locks. She looks amazing. And she pulls up to the spot, which is her event. She's doing an event for her business. She has Not for Lazy Moms, her website that she has, and she also turned into a podcast. So now she's a podcaster, and she also has an essential oil line. I think it's called Mila E Essentials. So she's having an event for that, and that's where we meet all the other ladies. We see Miss Tyler, Anira, I think her name is. Iana, I gotta get her name right, y'all. I'm gonna just call her E for now. And Ashley Silva, she pulls up and she's there. And we also meet Winter, which is a friend of Monique's. They said they've been friends since 16 years because their husbands played together for the Washington Redskins. So she and Monique go way back. And she was there. She also spoke at the event. Well, we'll get that at in a second. Raina walks in and she sees Winter, so she went to go talk to her. And she was like, how you doing? And she sees that Winter side of her head was shaved off. Like, I don't know. It was cute, but it was just like, she automatically assumed something was wrong or something was up with her. And Winter's story, you guys, like, she is going through it. Baby girl is going through it, honey, going through some things. Her and her husband, current husband, because she just got a divorce a few years ago, and she's been married for about a year now, and she's already about to divorce this man too, honey. So I don't know, there's a lot going on with Winter, but I'm trying to figure out why is she like the friend of the show. Why isn't she a full cast member? So Monique starts the event off. She says her speech, and she goes on to talk about why she's started her company and how far she came, and then she brings out Winter, and Winter gets on the mic and she talks about how they met and how long they've been friends. And she also goes on to say her husband had basically had an affair on her with their nanny and had not one but two babies on her. What? Girl, what? Why is she telling us this? Like, what is going on? Then we see Ashley whispers in Irena's ear, I'm on like my fourth drink, girl. I'm bored already. Okay, like, where is this going, girl? And we see that she's a little shady. Like, okay, she here for the shade. Okay, boo. So after the speech, all the girls come together, and Irena invites all the girls to her 26th anniversary, honey. All the girls are talking about going to the party, and Monique was saying, well, girl, 26 years is a long time. You got to do a Q&A for all of us, honey, because we need some tips, girl. Irena was just looking like, I don't want to do no Q&A when I'm supposed to be dancing and chilling and having fun, turning up, getting lit. I don't want to do all that. So Ashley chimes in and she's like, yeah, you got to do that or whatever. You got to give us some tips or whatever. She was just like, no, girl, this ain't that type of party. Like, I don't want to do all that. And I understand Irena. Like, that's a time to celebrate, not a time to be playing marriage counseling like she said. So, I feel her on that. So then Irena asked the girls, what kind of gift can I give my husband? 26 years and, I done everything. So Ashley was like, well, girl, why don't you give him some of this, some little action or whatever. She started twerking on Monique. Throw that ass in a circle. Hey, throw that ass in a circle. I was like, okay, girl, we see you. She tells Irena, yeah, you ain't never woke him up like this before and da-da-da-da. Raina looking like, girl, 26 years is a long time. Like, I done been married to this man for so long. I done did it all. Like, that's a regular night. What you mean? What I haven't done? What? Don't try to play me, girl. She said, get real. Be for real. I was like, come on, Irena. Shake that ass back. Because, yeah, don't play with her. Irena is 48. And she said she feel like she's 38. And ain't nothing wrong with that. So, even before that, Ashley kind of shaded Irena talking about, when you guys got married 26 years ago, I was 10, girl. And Irina looking like, bitch, trying to play with me. Like, don't even play. And she's like, no, for real, for real. Doing that little playful shade, but she know what she's saying. Like, don't play. Irina says in her confessional that Ashley always be trying to throw the little age thing around. But girl, don't play yourself. I can see Ashley a little shady, honey, Mexican messy boots. Okay. I see you, honey. We see each other. So my eyes on Ashley so far. So then we get to the next day where Monique and Chris, they're at home. Chris is downstairs in the gym, honey, because they got a mansion, darling. Uh-huh. And he's downstairs with his personal trainer. He's exercising, and Monique comes in and she's talking to him, and she's like, "Hey, babe, or whatever. What are you doing?" And they kind of get into like this little awkwardness. So we see in Monique's confessional that her and Chris, they're approaching 10 years. They've been together. And Chris, he played in the NFL. He was for the Washington Redskins. He was in the league for 10 years. He said he did 6 Pro Bowls. So that's amazing. So he got his bread, honey. He got the coin. He said that he left the league because of a neck injury, which is unfortunate. But, they got the money, honey, because they got houses, like she said, on Potomac, honey. They got 4 homes. What did Giselle say? Oh, so you don't own a home? Oh, honey, I own 4. Yes. Yes, honey. Come on. That is iconic, okay? Yeah, they are set. They straight. So he had a good career. He had a good run, and they well off. They good. They straight, baby. So Chris says in his confessional that their marriage is in a weird, place, and marriages do that. They go up and down. You have moments where you don't like each other, you fall out of love, and you fall back in love. So it's only the strong survive. And I believe that their marriage is strong enough to survive this. Is all marriages go through this. So my hopes are that they get it together and they bounce back, you guys. Okay, guys, so in the next scene, we cut over to Irina and Jamie, Tyler's house, and we see her mother in the kitchen cooking. And she comes in the kitchen like, Mom, I'm hungry. How long left on the dinner? And Mama looking at her like, bitch, don't play. You ain't too old to beat. So anyway, we meet her son. He is 21. His name is Jason, and he is visually impaired. And we also find out that they have another son, an older son. His name is Jamie, little Jamie, they call him. And he's 24, I believe, or 25. And right now, little Jamie is not doing too good. He's running the streets. He's being a 24-year-old like I was, like we all were. He doesn't know better yet. He's hanging with the wrong crowd of people, and you can tell when everybody comes downstairs to eat, and when his name got brought up, that everyone was just looking around like, oh, here we go again. We meet Jamie, which is Irina's husband, and he is a business owner. He's like a party promoter. He runs a business called J&J Entertainment. And he said, if you don't know about me, honey, you need to come to DC and ask about me because I've run all of the parties around here. I throw the best parties in town. He even throw parties in New York, and he said Chicago. I think he said Florida as well. So, he's all around with it. Okay, he is statewide. Okay, let's get a little introduction on him. Irina, we talk about her and how she's a multiple business owner. Honey, she is a business woman, and she's doing a damn thing. And they're a power couple, 26 years in the making. So that's amazing. You can tell that they genuinely love each other. They're like best friends. They're playful in their confessionals, and I love it. I love to see it. So they talk about little Jamie, and like I said, you could tell that everybody's demeanor changed, the energy shifted once his name came up. And Big Jamie is just like, look, I'm not really feeling him. They're at odds right now, and they're not really talking, which is sad to see, cause especially at that point in time in his life when he's becoming a full grown man, and he needs guidance and making the right decisions. So it's sad to see they're not talking right now, and they need to get that back together. So I hope they can come together and they can truly have their father and son like bond that's truly needed, especially in his point in his life. So they need to fix that. Then we cut over to the next scene, which we meet the Silvas. Okay, DJ Quick and his wife Ashley. They've been married for 13 years. They have 2 kids together, a boy and a girl. And DJ Quick, he is well known. We all know him. What he say? Award-winning DJ on a nationally syndicated radio. He was calling out them credentials, honey. I know that's right. You better big yourself up, DJ Quick. Okay. So we all know him. And his wife, Ashley, She is a mother, entrepreneur. She's writing a book. She has her own business. And they're a power couple as well. I'm loving the power couples on this show. You know, the representation is really stellar. Okay, honey. Luxurious, honey. So then, as we're getting to know the Silvas, they start talking about how DJ Quick, his job has kept him away from home a lot, and Ashley is in the middle of writing a book, and she doesn't even have time to focus on writing the book because she's at home with the kids and she's doing a lot of hands-on things with them, and she doesn't have time to really sit down and actually have to write the book. So you can already see that there is resentment being built because DJ Quick is away from the home. He works a lot, works too much. He's even worked himself into exhaustion before. So it's just a lot on Ashley right now, and she needs some help. She needs him to step it up, and he's keep promising that he is, and he promises again. So we'll see if he'll stick to his word. We'll find out as the season goes on. So then we get to the next scene, and we see that Irena is going to go meet up with little Jamie. They're at a dealership parking lot, and she tells him straight out the bat, look, I'm not paying for anything. Don't think because I'm here that I'm paying for anything, because we're not, okay, meaning her and her husband. And you can tell that Jamie came to her because he was afraid to talk to his dad. And she knew right off the bat what it was. So she was like, you're not going to use me. I know that's right, Mom, because they will. Boys will come to their moms first just because they know we got a soft spot for our baby boys. You know what I'm saying? And she already clocked that. Like, no, you're not gonna play me. They get into a deep talk talking about how everybody's worried about him. She doesn't like the fact that he's not talking with his dad right now, and he doesn't like it either. He never wanted it to be that way, and he wants to make things right. He's been hanging around the wrong crowd, and you know he's doing what a 24-year-old does. Like, he's learning. He's living and learning. Jamie also said at their house at the dinner scene that he wants his son at the party. He don't expect him to show up, but he said if he doesn't show up, it's going to be a problem. So Irena tells little Jamie that your father wants you at the party, which he does. That was his way of saying it, but he wanted him there. He said he's going to be there. And she said, I don't care if you got to get in the Uber, but you better get your butt there. At one point, Irena starts crying because she breaks down thinking about what could possibly happen to him. And his father says things like, one day we're gonna get a knock at the door, or we're gonna get that phone call that something terrible happened to you, and they are just terrified. He needs to make a change, and they're just worried about him, like a mother should be, and like his father is. He don't want to admit it. You can tell that Jamie has this tough exterior, but he's really scared for his son. That's his way of showing him. He's the type of father that shows tough love, and he's not really attached to his emotions. Jamie is just being a young adult trying to figure himself out. So I'm glad that Raina had this talk with him. It looked like it clicked for little Jamie, and that it hit different when he saw her tears, because she's not really emotional at times. So I did appreciate that. So that was a cute little talk between mother and son. So then we get to the next scene, guys, and we are at the Tyler's 26th anniversary event. Everything looks so nice, you guys. Everybody started to come out and show up, and we see Monique and Chris. They get there first, and they're looking around, and they looking like, oh, this is nice. This is beautiful. Chris asked Winter how her husband doing, because he knows her husband, and she goes on talking about how they're not in a good place, and there's been some stuff going on. She's been hearing some things about him in the streets, and Monique confirms it. And she said, yeah, I've been hearing some stuff about him too, you know. Winter's story is so crazy, you guys. Like, she's just going through a lot, from her previous relationship to her new, marriage that she's in now. Honey, it's crazy for her right now. So Winter tells Chris that he left, her husband left and went back to go live with his mother. And Chris is looking like, what? And Monique is like, isn't he like 60? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, girl, yeah, he is. I was like, what is going on? So Chris is kind of shocked, and he's talking about going to go see about that and go see him for himself and ask him all these questions, because he believes in going to the source, and I believe in that too. I'd rather ask the person in question than anybody else. And he said he's going to go talk to him and see what's good with him. And the Silvers arrive, and they come in, and Chris is like, hey, what's up? Talking to Quick, and they like, y'all late, man. What's going on? And he was like, yeah, I'm late because I just got off the mic, man. I just got off. And they looking like, well, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's work. That's good. That's all good. Ashley chimes in and is like, well, yeah, because his job and da da da. You can tell she's still a little salty because she's still the one that's at the house all the time with the kids, doing all the hard work, and he's at work all the time. It still falls on her shoulders, and she's tired of it. So she's throwing her little jabs. He keeps saying he's gonna try to get better at that and step it up, but you can tell that she's already built resentment and she's getting fed up with it. So then the Tylers arrive and they make their grand entrance and they are looking dapper and stunning, honey. Everybody crowds around them and is like, hey, you guys, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. You hear DJ Quick say, yeah, man, 26 years is a long time. Like, what's y'all secret? And Monique piggybacks off that and jumps in the conversation like, yeah, tell us everything. We need to, like, what's going on? And we need some tips. And Irana's like, hey, back. Like, can I live? Like, can I dance? Basically saying in a roundabout way, like, yo, chill out. I don't want to do that tonight. Not tonight, y'all. Not tonight. Tonight's not the night. We see little Jamie arrive, and his mother is so happy to see him. And I'm glad he came too. And we see Big Jamie, his father. He is shocked to see him, but he looked relieved. So they walk over to the side and they start chopping it up. And he explains to his son that they're so hard on him because they love him and they're worried about him. They don't want him out here making the wrong decisions because they're worried every time that he walks out of the house just being a black man. And I can understand. I'm a mother of boys and I get scared for my kids every time they leave the house in the world that we live in today. So it's completely understandable. And he's at that age where he's very impressionable and he can fall in with the wrong crowd and make irrational decisions. So coming from a parent standpoint, I definitely understand why Jamie feels the way he feels. Big Jamie. So Jamie knows that he got to step it up. He tells his dad that he's sorry for everything he did, and he realizes now that he was with the wrong crowd, and he's gonna make better decisions. And he just feel like they treat him like a kid, and he's grown now. His dad says, "Yeah, because we love you, and we're always gonna have your back. And whenever you're in a bind, you can always call who? You can call me and your mother. Like, don't ever think that we don't have your back. We just want you to make the right decisions like we raised you to." And I love the fact that little Jamie said, you know what, Dad, sometimes I just need to hear that sometimes. I need to hear that you love me. And that tough love can be received in different ways. And I'm just glad that he knows that his father loves him. And I'm glad that Jamie said that to him because he needed to hear that. So I'm glad that they mended. I'm glad to see it. And I hope their bond and their relationship continues to grow and they stay close together. So then we go to the next scene and we get to Chris and Monique's house. They're sitting there talking about the party last night. They was talking about how the Tylers was kind of closed off to answering any questions that they had for tips. And they used the word guarded. And I was like, well, it just wasn't the right time. We can do that at a dinner night or, a double date, a night out on the town, chopping it up, but not at their event where they're supposed to be celebrating love and they don't want to go back to the past thinking about things that they probably went through in their marriage. So I get why they didn't express that, but guarded wasn't the right word. So I didn't like that. Monique said that she was asking all those questions and trying to get tips so bad because her and Chris are in a weird place right now in their marriage. And she wanted to take some of those tips and, and put them in her life. So maybe it could help them out in the weird place that they're in and they could figure out what's going on and try to get back to how it used to be. It's a way about doing things and it's a time and a place. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was the wrong time and place, but I understand the reason behind why she was asking all those questions. So I get both sides of the coin. Then they start talking about Chris and he has a life coach named Terry, and Monique brings up to him that he hasn't really been consistent in meeting up with her. It seems like Monique always has to be the one to make sure Chris go to meet with his life coach, and she always has to be the middleman and be there present. He admits it, he knows it, but Monique is like, okay, you were supposed to write a list, and this list was supposed to be stuff that's about Chris. What did he like? What is he passionate about? Things of those nature, so she can know who he really is, which is very alarming. Y'all been married for 10 years. Y'all got 2 children. Things like this is you find out early on in the beginning of your relationship. Anyway, he was supposed to write this list, and it was supposed to be done a month ago, and she gets upset like, okay, was it not important to you? Is that why you didn't want to do it at that moment? And he was like, no, I know it's important. I just didn't get around to doing it. And she was like, okay, but it's been like a month. Like, you supposed to get that back to me in a week, and it's been a month. So what's really the holdup? Do you really just not feel like it was important to you? And he was getting upset, and it got crazy, you guys. At one point he was talking about, well, be patient because it's worth it. And she kind of laughed it off. And he got mad and she laughed, like, what you laughing for? It is worth it, ain't it? And she was like, well, what is that? I'm laughing because I don't know what you mean when you say that. And he was like, well, you live a nice lifestyle. I'm a good dude. I treat you well. All those kind of qualities. Like, yeah, that's what I mean by it's worth it. And she was like, I just wanted you to answer my question. Like, what's up with that? Did you not feel like that list was important to you? He said yes, but I just feel like if it took you a month to do it, Chris, like, come on. So I think he was wrong in that moment. But Monique just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. They are really in a weird space and they're very argumentative. We see them arguing and he tells her to hush. And the way she looked at him, y'all, it looked like it's going to go down for the Samuels, honey. The storyline with Ashley Silva and her husband Quick, her being at home and stuff, like she's building resentment and that's gonna cause a blow up later on. I would blow up, so I can definitely see that happening in the future. Foreshadowing moment. Also, we see Jamie and Raina, they're gonna have some issue later on in the season. He tells her, cut the tears, dead ass. We're gonna see what's going on with that, you guys. So the season is gonna heat up. I can't wait to see it. I've been waiting so long for this season to start, and it's finally here. So you guys, I can't wait to get into some things. So if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share if you care, and drop down and get your eagle on in the comments. Let me know what you think about this episode. Let me know what you think about this review. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.